Ooh, there's the heat.
Yeah.
There we go. It's moving.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. It just keeps coming.
I'm glad. You good? Hey everybody, from Standing at the Paddle, I'm Jay Martin, Coordinator of Creative Services, and you're watching Spicy Ones. You may be familiar with a popular YouTube show called Hot Ones, where this incredible journalist named Sean Evans interviews athletes, musicians, public figures, while eating a selection of increasingly spicy wings. You can actually buy the full array of sauces that they use on the actual show, but it's like $120, and that's too expensive. So instead what I did was I bought 3, the first, middle, and last sauce, then went to Wingstop, bought some other sauces, put them in my kitchen, cooked them all up, and now here we are. And today, I'm joined by none other than John Clark, our new seminarian. We go back a little ways. Welcome to the show, John.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are you with spicy food?
I love spicy food. Spicy food does not love me. It will make me cry, and I will keep eating it.
Beautiful. Well, we got 8 wings.
Yeah.
We're not going for the full 10. You opted for the milk Hawaiian punch combo. I went for the classic milk water combo. We're going to dive right in. Sound good?
Sounds great.
So as we eat this first wing, you're eating from that way. You attended the University of Texas and initially went in as a chemistry major, but then switched to rhetoric and writing. Tell me about that change.
Well, I was doing a teaching program with my chemistry degree, and I realized that I didn't really want to be a teacher. And I was still discerning priesthood at that point. So let's see, this was my freshman year of college, and I had a lot of thoughts about priesthood. I wasn't quite sure. I was praying a lot about it, but I wasn't sure. But I realized I wasn't very happy in chemistry. I wasn't bad at it, but it just didn't make me that happy.
So what year did you switch to rhetoric and writing?
I was thinking of degrees that would be helpful for priesthood, but I could still get jobs doing otherwise. And so rhetoric fell into a nice place. Rhetoric is like the study of argumentation and understanding how people think, how they argue with each other, which has a lot more uses than you'd realize in priesthood. Not just homilies, although I'm sure it'll help.
Sure.
But, I think it has a lot of applications to other jobs. And freshman year, I wasn't really thinking about that too hard. I was just like, this seems cool, seems doable, seems interesting, and it worked out great.
Nice. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em, indeed.
All right, so that first wing was with the Hot Ones classic sauce. Was that good? Not too spicy?
Pretty tasty.
All right, next up, we've got lemon pepper from our friends at Wingstop. On the second one, in 2015, you flew down to Life Team Camp Covecrest with your youth group from Prince of Peace for a week of summer camp.
I did.
What do you remember from that time, kind of as a teenager growing in your faith?
Let's see, so that was my senior year. It was the summer before I went to college. I think the thing about Covecrest was that it was a time of daily prayer. Not just like a little bit, like there was morning prayer, there was a rosary, there was mass daily, of course, a holy hour in the evenings. That was a lot of prayer. It was huge because it was the first time I had daily continuous prayer in both a sacramental and a scriptural way and in a communal way. So it was really that I think stands out to me the most. Camp's a lot of fun as well. It's not just prayer time, but for me that stood out the most.
All right, wing number 3, we're moving on to mild from Wingstop. So we had the hot ones, then we had lemon pepper, now we're into mild. So 6th ranked Texas A&M was recently upset by Appalachian State, who infamously upset Michigan back in 2007 when they were number 5. Being a 10-year-old Michigan fan at the time, how did you handle that loss?
I was at the Belle Isle Grand Prix in my, at the time, Cub Scout uniform. I was picking up trash from a major race that had happened that day. Belle Isle is in the Detroit River Strait area. And I remember I misheard the radio broadcast. And I thought Michigan won. And I remember I had even joked with a family friend like a few weeks before, like, we'll never lose to those guys.
Appalachian State.
We're amazing. We're Michigan. And then I found out the next day.
How'd you handle it?
Very poorly. I was in dire straits. I was a huge Michigan football fan growing up. I think my first prayer that I remember saying that was like really earnest and not from memory was like, God, please let Michigan beat Ohio State. And I was probably 8 or 9 years old when I said that. No, probably younger. Probably
what an introduction to prayer.
Yeah, and God has not granted that prayer many times.
So we're halfway through, we're hitting number 4. The fourth wing is from our friends at Hot Ones, the Los Calientes hot sauce. Heat level, they have it at 5 out of 10, so I put it right in the middle. So as we jump into this one, there's a recurring segment on Hot Ones called Explain That Gram, where we show you a picture and you kind of give us a little more context and tell us about it. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, so first up, so tell us about this one.
Oh yeah, that is a freshman year of high school. Young, John Clark playing trombone and getting at it. This may have actually been taken in the Woodlands, I think, at a contest.
No way?
Yeah.
Wow, what are the odds? All right, I really need some context on this one.
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yeah. So I was at the Museum of Natural History with a Boy Scout group, and this NASA intern runs up to me and proposes. She was being hazed as she began at NASA.
And her hazing was
that she had to propose to a teenager. That was
Boy Scout?
Yeah, they were supposed to go around Houston, the museum district. These are all 4 NASA interns. And I was overjoyed.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I said no.
Tell us about this one. You here in the back? I think that's you there.
As the USS Lambda Omega Alpha, I was in the Catholic fraternity at the University of Texas. They have a chapter at Texas State as well. Good dudes. This is my class.
What was
we were dressed up as Monopoly.
Monopoly. Okay, I was gonna ask why Lightning McQueen was there, and I'm assuming this is Monopoly. Man.
He was the Monopoly man.
I love it. It was like a great time.
Yeah.
Last but not least, look at this. Who's this? Tell us about this good-looking family right here.
Yeah. So this is my brother's wedding, December of 2018. So Andrew, my beautiful sister-in-law Alex, my mom Andrea, and my dad is in the chair. Beautiful day, one of the best days of my life. My brother's my best friend.
Beautiful. So. How's that wing?
The wing's great.
Had a little kick to it.
Good heat.
Yeah.
Not too bad. I always thought watching the show that it was actually going to be worse.
Moving into the back 4, we've got some spice on the way though. We got a smoked barbecue coming up here next, and we're in for a doozy. So as we move into this 5th wing, you've attended marches and rallies for life in the past in Texas and local. This year at the March for Life, the big annual march for the pro-life movement in Washington, D.C., it'll be the first time they have the March for Life with the repeal of Roe v. Wade. Why do you think the March for Life will still be important going forward, and what do you think the main focus should be on now?
It's really interesting because the thing with a culture of life, we talk about a culture of life, part of what makes our culture life-giving and life supporting is law, right? That's a huge part of it. And the question I think always comes back to, does culture flow down from law, or does law flow down from culture? And I think it's a mix of both. And so making sure that just because we are enacting pro-life laws and legislation, and obviously I'm very excited that Roe v. Wade was overturned, I still think we have a lot of work to do. So making sure that we support, pregnancy help centers that are in the area, such as Loving Choice, which is down in Spring, stuff like that. That's huge, right? Mothers still need support. Yeah, they can't have an abortion, and so those lives are being spared. We still want those kids to have good lives, right?
Now what?
So building a culture of life takes more work than just the legal side. The legal side's super important, and so I hope that continues to be expressed at rallies and marches for life.
So as we move into the 6th wing, classic hot from Wingstop, I've got a real spicy question for you. When you were in the 3rd grade, you traveled to Chicago to see the painting A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte by Georges Seurat, a leading example in the pointillist art technique painted in 1884. What was it that was so intriguing and so captivating to you as a little 3rd grader?
Did you call my mother and get information?
I have my sources.
That's amazing. Shout out to my mom. Love your mom. I just really like that piece of art. I saw it in a kindergarten art appreciation class. I just really like that painting. And we were in Chicago for a soccer tournament for my brother. And I dragged my family to this museum. I went, I found my favorite painting, and then we left. And we didn't look at anything else.
According to my unnamed source, it was very much a, okay. And then you just turned around and that was it.
He emailed my mom. Thanks, Mom.
All right, John, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling these wings. The issue with Hot Ones is that Sean Evans, he does this, he's done this hundreds of times, so he's a professional. He can ask the questions very eloquently while also eating the wings, dealing with the pain. I don't do this all the time, so I'm dealing with the pain while also trying to get these questions across. And I'm feeling it, you're sweating a little bit. But here we go, we got 2 wings left. We got Cajun. I smelled these of all the sauces I bought, and this one was the scariest to me.
Yeah.
But as we dive into the 7th wing, you once said in an Archdiocesan video that you want to be, when you become a priest, you want to be a priest who prays. What is your favorite prayer and then why?
It's a great question. Let me eat this wing.
Yeah, go for it.
And ruminate.
Oh, wow. That's got some kick to it.
Big fan.
Yeah, tell me about your favorite prayer, John.
The rosary feels like a cop-out because it's more of a whole set of prayers. But I'm going to say the rosary anyway. Because the things that the rosary has done for me and for my friends. Ooh, there's the heat.
Yeah.
There we go. It's moving.
It sneaks up on you. It just kind of settles in the back of your throat. Woo! Cajun.
Yeah, Cajun. Yeah, so the rosary, that's where we were. It's just a prayer that has transformed so many lives. You can go find some of my best friends online talking about their experiences with the rosary through a guy named Gabe Castillo and Children of Mary, that's a podcast. More recently, I've asked for the desire from God to have a more and more priestly heart. And a lot of that comes back to intercessory prayer, praying for other people. This was a desire, when I first entered seminary, I realized it's like, man, priests spend their time praying for people. That's sort of their job. And I don't always have the desire, especially for people I don't like. So I wanted to do a lot of things that priests did, preaching, teaching, good liturgy, but praying for other people was not at the top of my priorities. And that felt a little bit off. Thanks be to God, he's put the desire really in my heart. And one of the ways that I've really enacted it is through the rosary and sort of stretching an intercession over time.
All right, John, we have reached the last wing, and famously on Hot Ones, they put the last dab, and of all the seasons, or like season like 18 or 19 of the show now, and this is the hottest one. It's the Apollo or Apoyo pepper. It's the hottest pepper from the Guinness Book of World Records, from the record-holding chili breeder Smokin' Ed Curry. Very famous last name. Great. Okay. So it's a regular plain wing, and we're just gonna add a little bit of, just gonna dab the sauce on it. Okay, I think that should be safe. I'll let you do the honors there. Don't go too ham. I know you like the spice, but all right.
How much did you put on?
That's about accurate.
Okay. This could be very hot.
You ready? All right. Cheers.
Cheers to the Eucharist.
All right, John. Oh my God. All right, John. As we have this last wing, I heard from a friend that you love hot. No, you do love hot wings. You love fight songs. So as your mouths are on fire from this last wing, I want to ask you, will you help lead me in the University of Michigan fight song right here, right now? Send it.
It's really hot. To the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors.
Keep singing. My mouth's on fire. Oh my gosh, I can't think.
Hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go blue.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. It's hard to explain how hot that is. How are you feeling?
Not as bad as I thought. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It just keeps coming. But it's pretty hot.
Well, John, 8 wings, 8 sauces. It was great to sit down with you. You're a few weeks into the seminary life here. It's great to have you in the Woodlands. This camera, that camera, that camera, that camera. Tell us your last final thoughts after these wings.
It's been an awesome start in my first month here, and everybody's been just super welcoming, super kind, and I'm looking forward to being involved in everything going on at the parish. It's been great.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. I'm gonna go get some more water. God bless.
God bless. Goodbye.